Out on the streets, I'm stalking the night. I can hear them heavy breathings from my podcast. Paid for the kill, but it doesn't seem right. Something that you can believe in, 'cause when the jive talking happens and you're having fun, don't you know you're gonna get shot in the dark? Shot in the motherfucking dark with Shane Jive Talkin podcast. It's a good time, it's a fun time. We're gonna jive it, jive it, jive it good. The problem is, what I'm realizing is this hand can really go to town. I can really bust it over here. I can do that. This hand over here, it ain't want to do nothing. It don't want to not do nothing. It hits wrong notes. It hits all. It just doesn't. It don't not want to do nothing. Welcome, one and all, back to another episode of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. I have my hair up. I hope you don't mind. It's just kind of one of them days where you just, you want to put it up. Kind of just let it fly. So much news this week. I was so shocked and amazed at how much news. There's so many stories that we're not going to be doing. Lordi, the Spookster band from Finland, they're on the European Vogue magazine. That was fun. AC/DC, 1.5 million tickets sold in one day in Europe. Speaking of Europe, another story we're not going to be doing is old Accept singer. Don't drink the Kool-Aid man. He was saying that United States ain't the place for heavy metal anymore. Striper, they say good news. We're going to do some melodic hard rock that's going to be heavy on this next record. But nevertheless, we've got some big stories here. If you can see this cutie patootie right in front of our eyes there, that's the little Swedish boy, Erik Gronwall. And he has quit Skid Row. Did anyone else kind of go, holy shit, when you heard that? This guy made the biscuits. He made the green beans and the biscuits for the band. And now he said, they're having a shit fit, aren't they? Isn't Snake Sabo and Rachel over there going, we're fucked, dude. We may have to reconcile. I even heard that today. That they said there is a possibility there might be in a negotiation. I don't know if this is rumor or not. So let's not go making TikToks or whatever saying he's joining the band. But I had just in passing heard that they may be making a negotiation to maybe get the original band back with Sebastian Bach for a tour. And he'd be a damn nightmare to tour with for 12 months, wouldn't you say? I want to welcome you one and all back to another episode of Jive Talkin with Shane Diablo. It is episode 122, I believe. So much fun, so many stories to get to here. Did I do two? Oh, I've got a Sebastian Bach story. I've got Jeff Pilson is pissed off about the Dokken box set. He is pissed. And as tradition around here, we've got your comments. And we also want to check in with Joey Belladonna doing some Sweet Journey covers. I'm finding that we're really starting to find a home for him here on this channel. And this time around, you're going to say, oh, Shane, you're going to goddamn do Separate Ways again. Or Don't Stop Believing. No, we're doing Who's Crying Now. Okay? So just cool your jets, calm your tits. We're getting into it right now. Find out what's going on with uns Erik Gronwall. You can clearly see he's got the two umlauts over the O. It says Erik Gronwall. Why I decided to leave the Skid Boys, the Skid Row. Erik Gronwall, who was diagnosed with acute lymph... Oh, I hope this isn't going to turn really bad, like he's doing it to save them. Erik Gronwall, who was diagnosed with acute lymphoblastic leukemia in March of 2021, has offered a lengthy explanation for his decision to leave Skid Row, saying that he wanted to focus on his full recovery. And I agree with that 100%. Earlier today, Wednesday, March 27th, the 36-year-old Swedish singer shared the following statement via his social medias. And yes, I have decided to leave Skid Row. The main reason being that it is proved difficult to prioritize my health
und full recovery as a lead singer of the band.
I mean, I agree with this 100%.
I'm not, in 2021, I was undergoing treatment against leukemia, and that gave me a superpower called perspective. I decided to use this perspective, write down the values I wanted to live my life, the rest of my life. On top of that, list, it says, at the very top of my list, once I wrote down on a nice yellow legal pad, the first thing on there was, my health is number one, first. I had to look at the list a lot of times, maybe reorganize some things, scratch off one page of the yellow legal pad and start to new list. This last time questioning if I'm really living according to my values.
Because they're still doing kinky shit in them backstage areas. So old Snake Sabo's still doing the kinkies, isn't he? And he's saying, I got to, I'm just a sweet Swedish boy. These guys are still dirty.
Once at the end of the day, I realized the answer was no. As a result of the treatments and transplant, my immune system was impaired. You can think of my immune system as a 4-year-old kid bringing home all kinds of viruses from preschool.
Yeah, you don't want to be back there with them dirty boys.
It takes a while to build up that resistance again, but my immune system is getting stronger every day.
And this is good.
However, Shane, hold please. I'm still doing regular checkups, blood tests at the hematology department in Sweden, which has proved challenging while keeping up with the Skid Row schedule. I have way too much respect for my medical history to push myself to that limit.
And they did have a couple times there on their tours where they had to cancel a few dates. Somebody was sick. And, it takes a while for your immune system to build up.
I love Skid Row. Don't you remember when I did Swedish Idol and I sang that song with them? I didn't sing it with them, but I did my acoustic guitar. I love Skid Row. I have nothing but respect for the guys in the band, but I love and respect my health even more. I understand that Skid Row is a touring band, but like I told the guys, if I can't prioritize my health, then I'm not the right guy for the job. Please note, I'm not sick.
Thank you. Because that makes this not terrible that I'm doing an accent.
I am not sick, and it's not that I don't want to tour. I love being on the road. And of course, we have tried to find the right balance together, but at the end of the day, I realized that it was better for me to step aside.
See, the problem is Erik Gronwall was so damn good that people started to perk up again for Skid Row. Because he was thinking, I'll join Skid Row and I'll be doing 3 weeks a year, and maybe put out an album, but then they blow up. That last record did pretty good for him.
So now I'm going to focus on my full recovery and come back stronger than ever. Meanwhile, I'm finalizing my biography. I am going to start writing my own music again.
Yeah, he does. He's got a channel too on here. And he does covers and all sorts of stuff. This guy doesn't need Skid Row. Sebastian does. No, I didn't.
Lastly, hold your tits one time. Lastly, once again, thank you to everyone who accepted me as the singer for this iconic band. Always remember that no job, no money, no fame is worth your health or being or well-being.
That's a nice quote. Always remember that no job, no money, no fame is worth your health or well-being. I like that.
Health first, always. I owe this decision to the guy in the second picture in the post below, and I'm proud to be able to say that I kept my promise to him. Health first.
Skid Row's longtime friend, this is interesting, Lzzy Hale will handle lead vocals. That'll sell some tickets too, right? That's going to sell there. They might go, Jesus, we might have to bump this up to theaters. We got Lzzy Hale on the band. will handle the lead vocal for the band's 4 concerts in late May and early June. The Skid Row members, what they say, said in a statement that they are proud of what they have created and accomplished with Erik over the past 2 years and wish nothing but the best to him and his health. To celebrate the last 2 years, the band will be releasing a live album that perfectly captures this moment of time in the band's 35-plus year history, to be announced soon. Oh, Lizzie came in. Oh, yeah. Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm stepping in for a few dates as the lead singer of Skid Row. What an honor to call them my friends and a privilege to be sharing the stage with them. Erik, I wish you all the magic on your next adventure. Now, which leather pants to wear? ? Exclamation point. Skid Row shows with Lizzie Hale on lead vocal May 17th at Walker's Bluff Casino Resort, May 18th Riverside Casino and Golf Resort, May 31st Nugget Casino Resort, and June 1st at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. All right, there you have that, guys. Hey, here's Sabado. Sebastian Bach, really quick, coming in. He says he don't mind, yeah, he's got beef with using lip syncing and backtracking, but if it's Paul Stanley, that's fine. He can do whatever he wants. I vaguely remember him saying that once before. That's kind of hypocritical, buddy. If you're making goofs and spoofs on everyone using backing tracks and lip syncing, and then this is the biggest culprit of them all. Yeah, let's get into this real quick. Sebastian Bach doesn't mind older musicians like Paul Stanley using some technology to help them get through a concert. Now, as he starts to reach that, perhaps he's been into a Guitar Center or something where they said, go ahead and sing Slave to the Grind through this thing, and it adds some little textures and effects and everything else. And he goes, maybe I need to change my stance on that backing track. Former Skid Row singer Sebastian Bach has once again defended, see, I told you, Kiss against claims that the band was using pre-recorded tracks during its recently completed farewell tour. I feel like 50 years from now, people will be going, especially me, come on, let's be honest, I'm one of the biggest mouths about it, about backing tracks and Paul Stanley. I mean, no one's bigger than Singin' Stanley, right? They're the biggest investigate. They're like the Chris Hansen of lip sync. If you're doing it, they'll knock on the door. They'll pull out a big legal pad and start reading off the stuff to you. Ever since Kiss's End of the Road trek launched in early 2019, there had been persistent online chatter about frontman Paul Stanley's allegedly singing to a backing tape. The speculation stemmed from the fact that Stanley had been struggling to hit the high notes in many of the band's classic songs for a number of years. Bach, a self-proclaimed Kiss Uber fan, and he was there at Madison Square Garden on the farewell eve, and Tommy Thayer said he saw him and he was tearing up. He said Sebastian Bach was in a full-on ball right there, and Tommy got to witness that through Ace Frehley's makeup. Weighed in on the rumors of playback tracks being used at Kiss concerts during an appearance on the Rock Tales with Amit Zappa. Oh, is that the Frank Zappa's son? He's got a podcast? Oh, bless his heart. This is Sebastian, he says, we live in a world now where technology is taking over, and so many bands rely on backing tracks. It's well known. That's the way it is now. My position on that, I always hear people, Paul Stanley at Kiss is using backtracks. And my thing is, Paul Stanley has given us all fucking 50 years of entertainment. All he's trying to do is keep doing it one more time. The dude is in his 70s. Sebastian is late 50s, early 60s. He has to put on, he's got to put on the outfit. He's going to explain that they got to wear big outfits so they could do it forever. He has to put on foot-high platform boots, makeup, make his body fucking skinny and rock. He has to strap himself onto wires and fly across the arena. My mom is 82. I love my mom. I can't see her strapping on boots and spitting blood and breathing fire. That'd be fun, though, wouldn't it? Sebastian Sabatino. My point is, Paul Stanley or somebody in their 70s, if there's somebody is older is trying to put on entertainment and show they need some technology to help them get through it, and they're that old, I don't mind that. What I do mind is having a band that's 23 open for me that doesn't even try to fucking do the singing or the backgrounds. They're just gonna run that shit. That's ridiculous to me. But if you got like Phil Collins in a fucking wheelchair, give him a break. My point is, have some respect for all these guys, for what these guys have done. That's the way I look at it. He's not wrong. Is he? My neck's been killing me today. Oh, did you hear that? Will that come on the tape? Did you hear that crack? Oh. Yeah, let's see what he says here really quick. I saw this big thing, and I don't want to read that. He says something about Godzilla. Sinkin' Stanley. Oh, Sinkin' Stanley's in there. Bach previously talked to Kiss' alleged use of backing tapes late September while responding to a question from the Sinkin' Stanley YouTube channel at the Fanboy Expo in Orlando, Florida. He said, my position on that is if you're 70 years old, if you're 72 and you've got to put on big monster boots, Godzilla costume, hook yourself up to wires. I'd never see my mom drinking blood, spitting fire. Does he say it again? Let's see if he says it. I don't really have a problem with guys in the 70s and 80s. My technology to give us a show. I can't imagine my mom, who's 81. I can't imagine her breathing fire and spitting blood. Well, I can imagine the spitting blood part. But I don't mind the technology being used for its proper... Well, he switched it up on Mom. He says, I can see her spitting blood. I've seen her spit blood. It's disgusting. She almost died the time I saw her spit blood. It was all over the kitchen floor. She was making scrambled eggs, and the blood came. I can imagine them spitting blood in the part, but I don't mind the technology being used if it's a proper thing. Like an old dude giving a show trying his best. But he's old, right? Okay, we're over that. Let's get into Jeffy Pill, the pill boy, Pilson. That's a face he's furious. He is fucking teed off. George Lynch said, what's wrong with you, Jeff? What's going on with you? He says, I'm fucking teed up, buddy. I am fucking teed off. It's about that box set, the Dokken box set. So he's going to have some ripe words to say. Don't you worry about that. Let's get into it. Jeff Pilson is angry and pissed off about Dokken's 2023 box set, the Elektra albums 1983 to 87. Now, the first thing I think when pissed off is he didn't get enough money, because you won't be pissed off about anything if your pockets are lined well enough. I'm saying that about anybody. Whatever beef that I have with the box set right now, if I'm Jeff Pilson, if there's a couple more zeros added on, I ain't got no problems at all. But let's see what he says. In a new interview with George Dion of KNAC.com, former Dokken bassist Jeff Pilson, who's been jamming with Foreigner, spoke about the 40th anniversary of the band's second album, 1984's Tooth and Nail, which marked his first recorded appearance with the group. He was there on the... he would have been there for the American Bandstand, right? With Dick Clark. You ever see that clip of them really, really young on American Bandstand? This is what Jeff the Pillman had to say. He says, there was something very inspired about it. There was a powerful chemistry. I mean, George, the Lynchman, Dokken guitar player, I just sparked, and I just sparked on the record, on that record. Jesus, there was a powerful chemistry. He loves George, and I just sparked on that record. The initial writing session we did while we were touring Breaking the Chains, the previous record, George and I would set up in the hotels, and we started writing a bunch of the songs then. And then, when we came home, I spent a solid month going down to George's house every day and night. And we worked our asses, our little tits off. to start the writing process. And we just built a chemistry that exists to this day, which is why when I got so damn angry, I looked over right to Georgie boy. He said, "You sure are worked up, aren't you?" And I says, "You're dang right I am." And then Don Dokken, frontman, came in and added some really powerful stuff to the record. And it just came out amazing. I thought Don Dokken was the main songwriter on Everything for Always. We were a hungry band that were on fire. And we were very motivated. And we were pretty damn focused. So, yeah, that record, and then Under Lock and Key, the next one, we were the creative peak of Dokken. He's going to start saying that they wrote that shit, and he took credit for it, isn't he? Asked if there are any plans to re-release Tooth and Nail to mark the album's 40th anniversary, Pilson said, "I don't know, because we have very, very little to do with all that now. It's a complicated business thing, but I don't know. I know I was disappointed in that box set, the Elektra albums, 1983 to 87, containing Breaking the Chains, Tooth and Nail, Under Lock and Key, and Back for the Attack. You know, the one that came out last year? I just thought it was plain. There's no extras whatsoever. And see, the corporate people making decisions not based on anything artistic or anything fan-oriented, that pisses me off, frankly. Well, now I agree with him completely. Now he's not mad at old Donny Boy. He's just saying it's cheap shit. I mean, I'd love to buy it. Let's see. And see, the corporate people making decisions not based on anything artistic or anything fan-oriented, and that pisses me off, frankly, if you don't mind me being quite frank about it. I mean, I'd love to buy it because I think they should buy it. I'd love them to buy it because I think they should buy it. But it kind of pisses me off that they put out a product with so little thought behind it. I've got shit lying around that could have been great extra stuff. And I offered, by the way, and nobody listened. Not a single soul. And that makes me angry. And they didn't remaster the vinyl correctly. I would love to see it done correctly. I really would. And there are companies that do it. But now they're not going to be interested because it just came out. So I don't know. I don't think we're going to get a good re-release of that, unfortunately. It's very unfortunate because I think it should have happened. I think it should happen too. But c'est la vie, such is life. Hailing from Los Angeles, Dokken released a string of platinum albums throughout the 80s and toured the globe with the biggest names in hard rock and heavy metal, including Van Halen, Aerosmith, Metallica, Scorpions, and Kiss. The band had several hit singles on the mainstream rock and Billboard 100 charts and were all over MTV with their videos for Breaking the Chains, Alone Again, Into the Fire, In My Dreams, all great tunes. Every damn one of them right there. It's Not Love, Burning Like a Flame. Don't you know that it's all love, burning like a... And then, of course, the greatest tune, Dream Warriors. Am I wearing it? Oh, my God. Dude, that's not even... I'm wearing my Dream Warrior shirt. That wasn't even set up. Dream Warriors, and of course that was on the third Freddy Krueger movie. In October 2016, the classic lineup of Dokken, Don, George, Jeff, and drummer Mick Brown reunited to play the Loud Park Festival in Japan. That was the one that we were talking about a few weeks back where they said that, it might have been Pillboy here that was saying that Don was not sounding all that great and they wish the performance would have been better out there. Fortunately for fans outside of Japan, cameras were there to capture the performance. Great. And Frontiers Music SRL issued Return to the East Live 2016 in April 2018. Well, I got to see that. Is that the Pillboy interview? Yeah, we're done with that. We still got stuff to do, guys. Lynn Turner, he's talking about Yngwie. He's got beef with Yngwie. He says Yngwie's his own worst enemy. Look at that guy. Doesn't he just look like a serial killer? I mean, doesn't that look like a... And like one of them gruesome Italian kinds, too. You know, they're like... We're talking an 8-part Netflix fucking series on him. Well, each victim I carved into small slices and put in envelopes and mailed across the country, but saved the veins. You know, and this is just a victim on his list. Because he's a equal opportunity serial killer. He'll kill the young gals. He'll kill the old men. He'll kill them all. Is he wearing blush on his cheeks there, Mr. Yngwie? Looks like he's wearing a bit of that blush to make his face look thinner. Am I seeing things? Let's see what's going on here. In a new interview with Backstage Pass Rock News, legendary hard rock vocalist Lynn Turner, is he an English fella? Was asked if he would like to have done, I think he's an English fella, but I can't remember, a follow-up album to Odyssey. Yes, he was on that, wasn't he? 1988 collaboration with Yngwie Malmsteen, wildly considered the most commercial of all LPs. Really, the one that I know the best is the one that has Queen is in Love and Digga-doom-doom-boo-doo, Digga-doom-boom. You Don't Remember, I'll Never Forget. That's the one that I feel like was... What do I know? Yngwie Malmsteen, widely considered the most commercial of all LPs the Swedish guitarist's name has been attached to. He responded as transcribed, "Sure. Look, I don't have a problem with Yngwie. Yngwie is Yngwie. It is what it is. And it got a little bit too much towards the end. I can remember walking around Stockholm in the rain, cursing him because he was just getting overbearing. It was just too much. And at times like those, no, you don't want to do another record. You really don't. You need some distance between you to settle down. Looking back, I guess we could have done another album, sure. If he was a little more reasonable at the time, but to be honest, I think he felt threatened and maybe he felt he needed to go in a different direction. And if he's going in the direction that he's been going in lately, I don't know. I don't. That's a good decision. You can see it as clear as I can read it, guys. I don't. That's a good decision. Simply because he's not a great singer. He's not a great drummer or producer. I listen to Yngwie's recent records and I go, well, geez, it's not going to make it. Then I listen to Odyssey and I say, whoa, it's like a super piece of work. So I guess sometimes you're on your own. I guess sometimes you're your own worst enemy. And in this case, apparently Yngwie is. He's his own worst enemy, but I have no problem with Yngwie. I used to call him Yngwie Malmsteen, and people used to get so pissed off, but I didn't know it was Yngwie. I was a young kid going, Mr. Yngwie, will you sign my, will you sign my tits, Mr. Yngwie? Is that blush on the side of your face? But I have no problem with Yngwie to this day. What we have done was done. What he said was said. Quote, unquote, diary of a madman. So what are you going to do? 4 years ago, Turner told 80s Glam Metal Cast about Odyssey. Personally, I think it's some of the best work Yngwie, I have ever done. I think that it's a brilliant album. It stands the test of time, really. Odyssey is just powerful. Every track on that bleeding bloody record, every track is a great song, and yet incredible virtuoso playing by Yngwie. My vocal performance, I couldn't get better. I think if I tried, I couldn't get any better. The writing, pause. Everything was just there in the package all at once. Of course, I know for a bleeding bloody fact, as far as a numerical, it's the biggest album he's ever had. I don't know about that. What's the name of that record? Has Yngwie Malmsteen, and he's crunched down. He's doing that splits, but one leg's under his ass, and the other leg's out front, and he's got the guitar, and he's shooting it at a three-headed dragon. What's the name of that record? Put it in the comments. I love to this day that song, Queen is in Love. I loved that song. And You Don't Remember, I'll Never Forget's great too, but there's a lot of good songs on it. People want to hear that stuff, and Yngwie has gone off in another world. He does Rising Force, a few other songs, but he's singing them. And it's just not gonna work. Yngwie. Turner elaborated on the fact that Malmsteen now handles much of the lead vocal himself in his own band, backed up by a lineup that includes of keyboardist Nick Marino, bassist Emilio Martinez, and drummer Brian Wilson. From the Beach Boys? You're shitting me. Brian Wilson from the Beach Boys is back there at 90-something years old banging away with Yngwie, huh? What a crazy bleeding bloody world we live in, ain't it? Sometimes you're influenced by the sound around you. I'm not going to mention names, and it's a shame because you need guidance, not only for yourself, of course, your interior, but you need an external guidance too, for people who you trust and admire, and who you can believe in, and I don't think he's getting the right information. He pushed the band over to the side, and he's got 15, 20 amps, and he's in a center stage, and he's trying to sing, and I go, what is that? It doesn't work. It simply doesn't work. And I think for me, as a fan of Yngwie, I think he's a brilliant guitar player. It's just not working anymore. He's gone into a weird direction here. You can't tell people sometimes. You can't tell people sometimes, though. What are you going to do? All right, well, there's that. I mean, he says it, you know. Now, I'm not saying Lynn Turner is a serial killer. I'm just saying he has that look. I could see this. If this face was on a cover with some splashy artwork around it, say an 8-part series saying, I'm bleeding bloody gonna kill you, I would watch it. I would be intrigued. I don't know if they would go with that title, I'm bleeding bloody gonna kill you. Let's copyright that right now for someone before they trademark, hand stamp, as of this video being posted. Naming your movie, I'm gonna bleed and bloody fucking kill you. You can't do that. Juan, what's going on with Rat, guys? Because Stephen Pearcy, he's out there. He's doing all of it. And now Juan Crucier, he's going to go do a Rat? Huh. Interesting, to say the least. You know, old Juan and Stephen Pearcy have been joined at the hip. They were, in fact, conjoined twins. They used to be in the circus a long time ago before they started Rat. Forever. And now all of a sudden there's something that's going on, and I hope they get to the bottom of it here. Juan Crucier, is that how you say it? I feel like it's one of them CAs. Ciel. Juan Crucier, the other voice of Rat. Is that what he's calling it? To perform band's classic songs on Spring-Summer 2024 tour. Do people go to that if you've got Stephen Pearcy coming next week? Juan Crucier, the self-proclaimed other voice of Rat, has announced a series of shows where he will perform some of the band's classic songs. Confirmed dates so far are April 5th, Arcada Theater in St. Charles, Illinois. Oh, he's going out with the Lynch Mob, though. And I don't know who Bully Los Buffaloes are. And then he's got some dates, July 25th, 26th, and 27th. It looks like in Texas. Last July, Juan spoke to Raul, is that right? Raul Amador of Bass Musician Magazine about his current music projects and what he plans to do moving forward. He says, I've had my own band and various incarnations of it for a very long time, probably in the neighborhood of 26 years plus. So now I am in the planning stages to move my solo band forward. So we're starting to book dates. We're hoping to get some dates in the fall and just moving on. You know, it's interesting because I have sort of seen both sides of the fence in real time. On one hand, with a band like Rat, obviously it commands the brand. So wait a minute. So is he not? He's going out on the road with his band. Is it gonna? I mean, did I miss a band name? I feel like what they're trying to tell us is he's going out to do some dates, but it's going to be his band, and he's going to throw in a handful of Rat tunes, and that's the only reason people are going to show up there is to hear him sing 5 Rat tunes. Does that make sense? You know, it's interesting because I have seen both sides of the fence in real time. On the one hand, with bands like Rat, obviously it commands the brand. And our history of recording and whatnot commands a certain venue. Yep, see, that's what we're talking about. And a certain amount of people. And you've got your festivals and things like that. And then you've got your other band. He's gonna break this down for us, that I got to do some Rat shit because no one's going to fucking care. In this case, my solo band, which may not command quite the same audience, being honest boy, good boy, honest, wouldn't command quite the same audience and quite the same amount of people, but that's not what I do. I do it because I love music. And if I can get out there and at least cover my expenses, put gas in the van and pay for the flights and hotel and whatnot, I'm good with that because I love music. And when you have that passion, that love for music, it's great to make a living. And, of course, everybody needs to and wants to and should, but there's times that it goes beyond that. You're doing it for the love of music and to share something that you feel people will appreciate and enjoy and will make their lives or their time, if you will, a little better. Give them a break. Give them a break from the trials and the tribulations in life that life can throw at us. God damn it. So, I know that there are musicians that sort of say, well, look, if I can't tour on this level, I'd rather just stay home with my wife and kids. And I understand that, but I try to find a balance because I don't like my family and my wife and kids at all. No, he didn't say that. And I understand that, but I try to find a balance, no matter where, the bassist added. Guys, that's a lot more reading for me to do. I don't know if you want that. But we are going to get over here to Joey. There he is. There is Joey Belladonna in all his splendor, and he doesn't have them ugly bug glasses on or nothing. He's combed his hair nice. He's got some respectable jeans and a nice shirt, maybe an Affliction t-shirt on. And we're going to hear him do a little Who's Crying Now. If you don't mind, we will turn the stage over to Joey. Looking good out there. Key up that piano, baby. Fuck yeah, bro. Fuck yeah. What did you say, Kid Rock?
Enjoy your night.
We love you, Joey. We're not crying now. Joey, you never make us cry. You make us happy inside. I love the bass player with the eye patch. You know he goes by a name like Patches or something.
It's been a mystery. Still they try to see why
Good hands on bad. It's bittersweet, isn't it? One love feels a fire, one heart fast aside. I would be a backup singer for his. It would be an honor. I wouldn't do it free, but. Two hearts born to run. Yeah, this guy's great because he's like, when I play a rock show, I dress to the goddamn nines. I wear full leather, even leather eye patch. I do it. And, by the way, by and by, I have that nice fine quality leathers that I wear, so I make sure and spray it down with that leather juice that they give you. So it just, leather taste. One Well, I'll tell you right now, that's a bigger theater than Juan Crucier, and he's doing Journey covers. That looks like it's a fairly big room. That's a good gymnasium right there. Let's get into your comments. That's right, my friends. It is the finest portion of this podcast, if you don't mind me saying it. And we do them every week. If you want to be part, no, it looks like a comb over, doesn't it? You know, it's like, there we go. Let's get into it. Mike Buchanan, he's got stuff for us, guys. He's got stuff. On this week's movies that are bad, but we love them anyways, The Alligator People, 1959. This movie was recommended to me after I watched The Fly Returns. Both movies were released as a double feature. After being administered the drug sodium pentothal by two psychiatrists, amnesiac nurse Jane Marvin, amnesia? Nurse Jane Marvin recalls a series of events from her repressed memories when she was known as Joyce Webster, the romance novelist, the erotic sex novels. With the use of flashbacks, we learn the horrifying story of Joyce and the macabre tale of her husband. Coming home from the war, newlywed couple Joyce and Paul talk about Paul's horrendous plane crash and his miraculous recovery from being on death's door. Paul receives a letter and gets off the train and disappears forever, but Joyce refuses to lose her new husband. What? Did I miss something? Guys? Horrendous plane crash miraculously covers and being on death's door. Paul receives a letter and gets off the train and disappears forever. But Joyce refuses to lose her new husband and tracks him down to the Louisiana bayou. Oh, we got gator down there in the bayou. Acid bath and everything going on in it. Where she learns the terrifying truth of Paul's recovery. If you want to watch this properly, also watch The Fly Returns as a double feature. Grab your favorite beverage, sit in your favorite chair, pop some popcorn, and press play. I'm telling you, dude, start a channel. I'll subscribe to it. Mike Buchanan's movies that are bad, but we love them anyway. Mike Buchanan on David Draymond. I have heard some AI-generated music. It just doesn't sound quite right. And the lyrics sometimes make no sense whatsoever. I agree 100%. It's just not, you will, for a long, long time, you're going to be able to tell the difference. But with anything AI, we'll learn over time, yes. But I still think human-generated music will still be dominated as AI just won't have emotion, passion. 100% agree. That is the creativity in man. The computer will not be able to, you can give it all of the social cues and everything, but it's just never going to have that punch. And I predict that we'll get back to a time where people don't want any electronics. You know, other than, I mean, I'm not saying all acoustic instruments, but I am saying like back to electric guitars, bass, everything, where it's just Zeppelin style, Sabbath, you know. I think there'll be a big fad for that again, you know. But it's like everything, you know. The 70s come in, the 80s come in, the 90s come in, you know, we're back to the shoegaze and all that. Now hardcore's popping back up, so people are getting back into the 80s hardcore. It's just... Mike Buchanan on... Oh, I wanted to say something about AI first. One thing I do like about AI, there's a TikTok channel called Film Street, Fear Street. It's like Fear ST Films or something, and he creates some kind of storylines for AI. Those are goddamn creepy. Just the imagery that it comes up with is like, that's creepy. I like it. Mike Buchanan on Mick Mars. Funny that the Crypt Keeper is talking about Vince. Shout out to Boone, Iowa. I once saw Thomas the Tank Engine there. Iowa represent. I saw Thomas the Tank. I didn't see it once, but we passed it. Me and my young son at the time. We didn't have tickets for it, but I did take him to the Wiggles. I took him to the big arena. The Wiggles were in an arena. And it was great because we had seats clear up in the, they were up there, and they're up there going, fruit salad, yummy, yummy, And at one point, they all shoot off the stage and they take off in different directions. Now, my son's favorite guy in the Wiggles was the red shirt, Murray. And I am not kidding you. We're sitting in our seats clear up there, and they come running down the aisles. And here's red shirt Murray. And he's in his red shirt. My kid's very little. Right into the aisle, because we're right there on the end seats of the aisle, and looks right at, how you doing, mate? Hello, how you doing, mate? Fucking scared him so, he was just like, what the fuck is going on? It was just insane. Anyways, back to Mike Buchanan on Sharon Osbourne. Oh, Sharon, I'm much going to talk about Sharon Osbourne. Is this her way to try to stay relevant and to bring Ozzy back to the spotlight? Yeah, not interested. Mike Buchanan on Rob Halford. I thought that the Priest had said they were ending, but that could be a false memory. But I will say that Invincible Shield does have a little bit of old classic Priest in it. Fantastic album from the Metal Masters. Yeah, everything I've heard, tasty. Mike Buchanan on Ace. Noodle Fingers, ? Perhaps. Really, I will need to go back and revisit the album. I did a run through once and then shelved it. Wasn't all that memorable to me. The new record, I got on the treadmill with it, and I was just really happy because every song kind of was like, there you go. There wasn't a clinker. I'll say that. Mike Buchanan says, well, if I don't like Jericho, I'm sure I'm not going to like whatever that weird spelling of quarantine is next. Next, he meant. Chris Jericho's band Quarantine is what he's speaking of. And they did that Good Girl Gone Bad song from Kiss cover. He's saying he's out of here. He says, next. Now we're on to Mike Buchanan's jokes. Your Jive Talkin jokes of the week. A naked man arrives at a costume party with a girl on his back. I am a turtle, he says. Who's on your back? That's Michelle. Oh, that just came to me. What has two butts and kills people? An assassin. People said I'd never get over my obsession with Phil Collins. But take a look at me now. There's nothing me. I was the best man for my brother's wedding in Paris. At the reception, I raised my champagne glass and said, eggs, cinnamon, bread, and maple syrup. It was a French toast. And finally, this morning I went on Google and I searched ninjas. The computer told me ninjas cannot be found. Well played, ninjas. Well played indeed. There you go. That's the Mike Buchanan jokes. Always a delight and a pleasure. Oh my God, he's got another one down here. I just saw Mike down there. Okay, Miss Althea, the wonderful Miss Althea coming in with her stuff for the week. And you got the dumbstruck fool, says David Draymond. She's going on about David. I agree with his view on AI for the most part, but I guess we should all just be thankful he wasn't talking about his new girlfriend again, since the ink hasn't dried on his divorce papers yet. Well, he's like, yeah, that's probably what he said. He said, I got to talk about other things, guys. She's going, why can't you talk about me more in the magazines and stuff? David, you haven't been talking to me. He says, I got to talk about AI. The ink hasn't even dried yet on my divorce. Get off my back. Mick Mars. Miss Althea on Mick Mars, she says, Fur has been flying between him and the crew camp for months. He was served an opportunity on a platter to keep it going, so it was a very generous, for lack of a better word, of him. So it was very generous, for a lack of a better word, of him, not to especially when he has not been given the same grace by his former bandmates. Did that even make sense? Miss Althea on Sharon Osbourne. That story was ridiculous and pointless, and I 100% agree with all the points you made. Any man who snorts ants, pisses on the Alamo, and bites the heads off bites is not going to be Prince Charming. How much did codependency come into play if she continued to stay and continued to forgive? Staying is forgiving. How much longer until Dr. Phil gets involved? Is there a comedian out there that's doing that he like dresses? I've been seeing clips of a comedian that tours as Dr. Phil. If I'm right about that. Maybe they can get him. Miss Althea on Ace, he's exhausting me now. However, I am thankful he is being proactive by admitting that all the solos on the new album aren't his and giving Steve Brown all the credit he deserves. I just hope he's being genuine about it all, and that it's not a matter of damage control. I admittedly got a nice laugh out of your definition of pop whiz banger when referring to the smoking guitar debacle. Yeah. You know those little things you used to pop or stick your finger in or whatever, and I feel like they would smoke or something. I figured that's what he did, is he just jams his finger in it. It's a pop whiz banger. When referring, let's see, that would be a fantastic song or an album title. Pop Whiz Banger would be a great tune for Ace Frehley to record, or dare I say Steve Brown to record for Ace Frehley on his next album. Miss Althea on Chris Jericho and Quarantine's cover of Good Girl Gone Bad. Crazy Nights ranks lowest of my list of non-makeup era, or let me be more specific and say non-makeup Eric Carr era. Yes. Kiss albums, but I always consider that song one of the better tracks. That is until I checked out that Quarantine version. I will leave it at that. Okay. I mean, what was else on? I like the song Crazy Nights. You know, I loved it when I was younger, and I said, these are crazy, crazy nights. If I'm putting my Eric Carr albums, what am I putting? I got to go Creatures of the Night up there. I'm pretty sure Creatures of the Night, Lick It Up, Animalize, Asylum, and Crazy Nights. So, I mean, isn't he on 5 records? I think that's what I'm doing. Did I give the hearts? Yeah, we got the hearts gone. Kablamo. There you go, my dear. Thank you, as always. Gilman coming in. This week's Jive Talkin intro, all heart and soul fantabulous. A++. That, I'm sorry, but compliments get you everywhere. You're getting a thumb, too. Mike Buchanan is back to say, okay, I did it. I watched House, 1977. I've no idea what happened. I might as well just turn off the subtitles. Well, if you find yourself after taking one of those special gummies, go watch this movie. It can be found over on that website that is the same name as the longest river in South America. Huh? Pornhub? Thanks, Miss Althea. I'll be back with my normal post later. Okay, well, the good news is we got it. All right, there's your heart, buddy. And you got 2 replies over there and another heart. You ain't getting another heart for that. I'm sorry. And then John Heffron coming in. He says, Mick Mars Ferratu. Hey. That's what I'll say. I'll say, hey, it's not Mick Mars. It's Mick Mars Ferratu, okay? It's not. I'm not trying to be a mean guy. Get out there. Seize it. Do it. Win it. Win big, Mama's Fallen Angel. Do everything you got to do, okay? Take care of yourself. You know what you got to do. You just got to sit down and do it. You know, you got to do your taxes. I got to do my taxes. I hate doing that because they always suck. You know, you don't get those good child credits anymore. My kid's grown. I don't get that anymore. I love that. I was always going, I'm fine. Give me them. You know, January rolled up. Give me my W-2s. Give me my W-2s. Now I'm like, what? I don't need it. Let's do it. Just get out there and win and seize the day. Take advantage of it. Live in the moment. Be in the present. Do the thing. Let's see, patterns. I kind of want to hit a tune. Yeah, come on, let's have a little fun.
Jive talking with your buddy Shane. We gonna go insane. We'll have a real good time and we'll go insane. What did I give you this week? I gave you good time. Gave you really, 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 really good news. Gave you really, really fun times. You take to bed, you take off your clothes, and then you get in bed and have a good time. Jive talking with me. Jive talk again next week, baby, for free. It's gonna be a real good time. I'll see you then, and think of me